Well, hello, Young and the Restless Daily Recap fans. Today's daily recap is for Thursday, May the 25th, 2023. Thursday, May the 25th. Well, let's see what's happening in Genoa City land. I kind of feel sorry for Tucker. He really wants Ashley, and she is just pulling his strings like you would not believe. She could not tell him she loved him, knew she wouldn't. She's saying, but you're making progress, which he is. She let him move into her bedroom. Come on. You can only, well, no, I was going to say you can only fake sex for so long, but women have been faking sex for years. So, but no, she genuinely, Ashley genuinely cares for Tucker. I would say on even a level, she loves him. She just doesn't want to because he has hurt her so many times. I mean, her heart has been with this man and he has let her down every time. And in the past, because he goes, I wish, I wish you would love me for who I am, not for who I could be. Yes, that's nice. But the Tucker, who is Tucker, will still do Tucker things, and that'll hurt Ashley. Seriously, Tucker hasn't really learned. Every time he thought Ashley was completely gone when she really wasn't, instead of staying and saying, I'm going to make this right, what does he do? He sees Audra and says, hey, let's go up to my room. Serious, he still will jump into bed with another woman. Yes, he will. And that's what split him and Ashley up twice. And he's still the same. He loves the thrill of the chase for her. And right now, she's hooked on not being caught. She's hooked on using him for what she wants to use him for, which is digging a knife in Jack's side, right? But deep down, she knows Tucker is still Tucker. And right now, Tucker is Tucker without a company, without a mission. He just got money. He got quite a bit of that. But idle hands, you know what idle hands do? Especially when there's an Audra Childs around. Idle hands, especially when is Harmony still around? I hope she's gone. Devon's mother, there's no reason for her to still be around. She needs to be gone, right? So we'll see. But she told him, you are making progress. It's just going to take me some time. And he knows that. So realistically, they're not going to get together. I don't feel that at all. So now we have the bunch together. We've got Lily came back into town and she saw Daniel at the GCAC and she kissed him. And Lucy walked up right as Lily's kissing him. So Lily's like, goodness, still got that jet lag going on. So Lily was kind of like, sorry you saw that. She goes, ooh, Dad missed you. And Lily goes, that was me missing him. And he goes, well, I missed you too. So she goes, hey, let me take you guys out to dinner. And they said, oh, they were already going out to dinner with Billy, Chelsea, Connor, and Johnny. And Lucy says, you should come along. And Daniel's kind of like, oh, whoa. She goes, wait, what did I miss? And Lily said, nothing. She goes, you know what? Sure, I'll come along. And Daniel said, that didn't sound sarcastic. And that's when Lucy said, what did I miss? And Lily said, because I will come. And she goes, and I'll tell you about it on the way, right? So she told her a little, that she was with Billy. And so now they're exes. So anyway, they get there. Billy and Chelsea are surprised to see Lily. And Connor and Lucy get along swimmingly. Not Connor, Johnny and Lucy get along swimmingly. And Connor was actually trying to be on his little best behavior. We got a girl around, right? And the kids decided they're going to sit at another table, the table adjacent to the adults. and do kid talk, which was cool. Why would they want to sit right there at the at first they said let's push some tables together, and the kids were like, or we could just go sit over there. So they do, and it worked out perfectly. Johnny is being very Johnny-ish, and Lucy's laughing and Connor's laughing, and the adults were looking like, well, they're getting along pretty well, okay. And Billy asked Lily, how was her son? Goodness, why is his name eluding me? I know his name, and it'll come to me in just a few minutes. And she goes, oh, he's fine. Elaborate much, Lily? Elaborate? Because my estimation is Lily's son, Aunt Maddie, and Charlie. I knew I remembered. Charlie and Maddie should be graduating college this year, except Maddie is going to be a doctor, I think. So Maddie's going to now have to go to, of course, years more. And I forget what Charlie's going to be. I forget what Charlie's major was. Film, I think. I think he's majoring in film. So she had a good visit with him, but she didn't even elaborate. School's going well. He's almost done. Nothing. Just, oh, fine. Charlie's fine. And so it was so funny. I said, here's the problem. This is what's going to happen. Little Connor, I think, was deciding he kind of likes Lucy. And he's noticing his older brother, who is Lucy's age. Come on, Connor. You got little guts of steel if you think you could pull that young lady, right? And so he, at the end, when they were leaving, Johnny asked Lucy, hey, can I have your phone so I could put my number in it so we could, stay in contact? And Connor kind of looked like, what? Wait, that means you guys could talk, because he could see at the table Lucy and Connor kind of, communicating with each other. And he was like looking back and forth. And then he's kind of like, hey, what's happening here? Right in front of my face. But what was so interesting is all three of those kids have been sent to boarding school. That's what's so interesting to me. And Lucy asked, Connor said something about, yeah, boarding school, blah, blah, blah. And Lucy's like, you've been too? Or it was actually Lucy and Connor first. And then Johnny says, yeah, when me and my sister went, blah, blah, blah. She goes, you went too? And he goes, doesn't everybody? And I was going to say, absolutely not. No, everybody just doesn't get sent away from their parents at the age of 4, because Katie was about 4, maybe 5 when they were sent away. Johnny was 9, I think. When Billy was kind of spiraling, and after the Ashland thing, and Victoria wanted to send them away, Katie was max of 5. Who sends your kids away that young? Why would you have to? If you don't want them to be around Billy, you don't have to send them away. Billy would have stayed away, because he still FaceTimed them. All you have to do, if you want your children in a more controlled environment, send them to the stinking ranch, right? It's huge. It's isolated. They were going to private school, Walnut Grove. Anyway, there's any old excuse to send kids to boarding school. So they got along well. The adults ended up with a nice, very amicable, nice evening. But Lily, when it was time for Billy to order, she goes, oh, come on, you're going to order the shrimp enchiladas. They're your favorite. And he looked, and Chelsea goes, wow, shrimp enchiladas are your favorite? Because she's like, I didn't know. And he goes, well, they used to be. And then Lily just looked, and I'm thinking, let's be real. If shrimp enchiladas were your favorite 6 months ago, all the way back, how many years? Shrimp enchiladas are still your favorite, Billy. And so then they were making a comment about, Chelsea says, did you see a play? And Billy says, no, that's not Lily's thing. He just chimed in, no, plays aren't her thing. Or Daniel may have mentioned a play, because Chelsea may have said, hey, did you see a play? And Daniel said, hey, I hear XYZ is out. And that's when Billy chimed in, no, Lily, plays aren't her thing. And she goes, well, I don't know. I think I could go for a little whatever Daniel had said, right? And Billy was kind of like, oh, wow. You know, they weren't trying to one up each other, but it was just interesting how the conversation went, that, you know, they're both changing, and, you know, they're open to some things or changing what they liked, or it was just interesting. But they had a really good evening, and Lily thanked them for including her and letting her join their evening. Now, we have Abby. Did anybody find Abby as ridiculous as I found Abby? You are a grown woman who, fortunately, nobody, not a one person, gave you flack or judged you, which you could have been, for blowing up your marriage and breaking Chance's heart. No judgment there. Everybody except her, except Devon, just like, hey, that's the natural thing that could have, should have happened. But her mother, making up her own mind to do whatever she wants to do, whether it's put a dig at her brother. You know, Abby is like, I don't know. Do you think this engagement's really going to be real? I stopped over to the house to see my mother, and my Uncle Jack said she and Tucker has some news to tell me. What could it be, Devon? It better not be that they really are engaged. And I'm thinking, Ashley already told you they said that to get under Jack's skin. So you should say, oh, think, okay, that's getting under Jack's skin. You have enough on your plate, or you should have enough on your plate, than to try to run your adult mother's life. Saying, if Tucker thinks he could worm his way, because she's making it like this is all Tucker's design. Well, this is all Ashley's design. Abby, all of this is Ashley. Tucker's being tugged along for the ride. She told Devon, if he thinks he's gonna get next to my mother like that and he could hurt her, I will crush him. And the way she looked at Devon, I said, you have never crushed anybody in your life, little girl. Never. What makes you think you could crush Tucker now? Period. I just shook my head and said, see, this is what's the ridiculous part. This is what. So Devon looked at her and he goes, no, you know, you don't have to do all that. What I'm going to do is I'll just get close to Tucker. You know, he says he wants, you know, to build more of a relationship with me and Dom. So that's my end, and we'll just talk, and I'll see if he slips up and says something. You know, so she goes, you do that for me? And I'm thinking, oh my God, I'll do anything for you. Oh, I fast forwarded them. Fast forward. So Chance is at the motel, right? He's looking around and he finds nothing in the room. Nothing. And so he's thinking, nothing. But Jack sure found, oh, yeah. Really, Jack sure found it. So Chance gets the bright idea to go and look at the dumpster. Now, everybody, how long ago was it that Phyllis was in that motel room with Stark? How many weeks has it been? You're trying to tell me that the trash has not been collected in that alleyway, that trash would have been overflowing, rats crawling all over it. And guess what Chance happens to find? And mind you, this hotel uses small little kind of shopping cart bags. You know, when you're shopping, not shopping cart, but shopping bags. When you get groceries, that's what all they little trash is in. Versus, you know how motels, they got the little pusher deal and you dump it trash from this room, that room in a big trash bag, right? He opening up little bitty trash bags. And guess what he finds? Oops, the one from Phyllis's room. And oops, the one that had the announcement of her memorial service. When I saw that, I just shook my head. I said, how unlikely would that ever be in life? Ever. Really. And it had mascara on it. And it had, he says, it looked like tea because he's calling forensics. I know we can get DNA off of paper, but if it's been sitting around for a while, can we still? And can we get DNA from tears? Oh, he just knew that was tears. Just knew it. Now, this is a trash can. This is from a room. You mean a drink never was thrown in there? I mean, that was just so unlikely. So unlikely. Food would have been in that trash bag from that room. Phyllis wasn't eating out at restaurants, right? My goodness gracious. And so forensic said, well, yeah, they can. He goes, well, I'm on my way. And I said, of course you're on your way. Of course they're going to do it like this. Now this is going to prove Phyllis was there, right? So now Chance is going to believe Phyllis is alive because there's no way any of Phyllis's DNA could have been on her memorial service announcement. Look, that's pretty concrete proof. It really is. The way they're soap opera right now. Oh my goodness, everybody. They hired a new character on The Young and the Restless. She was walking down the ugly wooden hallway of the GCAC. So dark. Ugh. And she turned around and I said, now, what character is this? Who could she be playing? And I'm thinking, is she the one that sent Sharon the wine? Is this somebody from whose past this could be? Because I'm telling you, couldn't recognize her. This is what Phyllis is walking around town looking like. Just like everybody ought to know Superman is Clark Kent. Everybody ought to know. Phyllis with that red head looking, her face, that is Phyllis. With some red stupid glasses on and a black cap. And we're not supposed to recognize Phyllis. What is that? What is that? You know, I got my camera acting all up. You know, like right now. Here we go, everybody. Here we go. Let me put these on. I'm filling in for Daily Recap Lady. I'm Daily Recap Lady number 2. No, we're not the same. Don't confuse us. What is that? She apparently, you know, Summer is at Crimson Light getting 2 coffees and getting a bag full of carbs. And Sharon, when she ordered it, Sharon looked at her and kind of smiled and she goes, what? She goes, your mother would say a bag full of carbs. You know, it's okay for us to remember our and the memories won't be as painful, you know. And Summer just kind of looked like, oh, did I say that? Because she is getting the bag full of carbs for her mother. So Summer is getting these bag full of carbs. Summer gets a text message because Phyllis turns around and said, okay, Supergirl, your mom needs you before she goes in the room. Summer gets a text and she tells her GCAC room, whatever room it is, 213, whatever room, she texted her. She said, the key is in your back, the card key is in your back pocket. And Summer's like, wait, what? So she reaches in her back pocket and she pulls out a key and she's thinking, well, how the heck did that get in there? How the heck did that get in there? Okay. So she goes to the hotel room, you know, she gets in there, hugs her mother, they hug each other, they're talking, and she's like, you're gonna get caught being here, Mom. You can't be here. We don't have a plan, and you go to jail and blah blah blah. And she goes, oh, I'm fine, Summer. She goes, you can't be walking around. She goes, you didn't know it was me when I put the key card in your back pocket. And I'm thinking, well, that's pretty unnoticed. I mean, yeah, pickpockets are good, but sliding something into somebody's pocket, you know, okay. And Summer just didn't know. She goes, when you were looking at those shoes in the window at Main Street is when I put it in there, right? So then Summer tells her about Daniel, how Daniel pretty much traitor Daniel and blah, blah, blah. She goes, I knew Daniel would do that. That's why I didn't go to Daniel. That's why I came to you. And that's why I told you not to tell Daniel, you know. But I'm sorry, Mom. But now, you know, Daniel's just told everybody. She goes, okay, so is there an all-out manhunt for me? She goes, no, not yet, because Christine, she doesn't really believe the evidence isn't concrete enough, you know. And so she goes, of course, Christine would rather believe I was dead with her vindictive self. And I thought, Phyllis, be glad she's vindictive right now. Because once she gets her hands on you, she gonna tighten the noose. See, you're gonna know Christine's vindictiveness. You're gonna know it. Because she's gonna gladly be ruthless as district attorney prosecuting Phyllis. So Summer, she goes, Phyllis was saying, yeah, I really just needed to see you, and I need to see Daniel. And Summer's like, absolutely not. Oh no. If Daniel sees you, he's going straight to the police and telling them exactly where you are. And she goes, I won't hold it against him, but I miss my son. I just need to hug my son. And Summer, the look she gave her, she goes, oh no, you have dumped all this on me. And it has turned my life upside down. We're doing this. We are doing things my way, she said. And Phyllis kind of looked at her like, wait, huh? Wait, what? We're doing things my way. You are not going to contact Daniel. You are not going to see Daniel. And Phyllis is just looking at her like, okay. Okay. Now, everybody, you know Phyllis like I know Phyllis. When she looks at you and she goes, okay, what does Phyllis do? As soon as you leave the room, you know what she's going to do. Phyllis always does what Phyllis wants to do. Always. She doesn't think ahead enough about the consequences. She just doesn't. And she's not going to now. She's not going to now. Phyllis being Phyllis, the way the old Phyllis was, if the writers were on their job writing this for Phyllis, Phyllis has been gone long enough to have come up with a plausible plan, a plausible explanation, and already set up the fall guy. Why are they still having her with no plan? Why have they not had her figure her way out of this? And now all they got to do is make it sell. They haven't. And Summer says, how have you been surviving? You know, I've been thinking you've been living off the streets and eating out of trash cans. And Phyllis goes, wait, what? No. She goes, Jeremy pretty much set me up so I could go anywhere I want to go. Remember, Jeremy had withdrew most of her money. See, because we found out he hadn't cashed in on the insurance company, but he sure did because she said, "You're taking my money." Oh, he withdrew most of her money. So she has all that cash he gave her. She should have figured out where he had the cash on him and took it from there. Because it should have been probably in that hotel room he was staying at, but the police already confiscated that. So anyway, we shall see what kind of trouble Phyllis is going to get herself into now that she's back into town. So let's go to Comment Corner. Comment Corner. Sheila says, my pet peeve with Tucker is he tried to sleep with Audra right after he thought Ashley was going to give in to him instead of leaving town. Wasn't going to give in to him instead of leaving town. It's a wonder Audra hadn't told Ashley about that at least yet. Well, it'll be Audra's word against his. And remember, Ashley says, I'm not stupid. There's something going on between you and Audra. Audra's like a non-issue for Ashley. Sheila says, Audra will not succeed in getting power in Newman with Nate the snake. I wouldn't be surprised if she jumps on Adam's bandwagon next. I see that coming because she knows Newman in and out. Adam could give her a much higher position. And you want to know something? Audra and Adam would feed on each other's negativity, and those two could do some damage. Because see, Sally and Adam, they fed on each other's conniving, but there was a spark and a funness about it, right? There's something drab and I can be an asset to you. There's something that you just want to hate Audra. You just don't like her. There's not much to her. There's no spark. There's no sex appeal whatsoever to Audra. It really isn't. And I'm happy they gave up on that whole Noah her thing because that was the most incompatible couple on the planet, right? And then Monique says if Adam and Victoria weren't related to each other, they would be the perfect couple, except Victoria is so much older than him. LaShunta said, two snakes. She did it. Vicky's so gullible. Now, do these two think they're going to push the Newmans out? Vicky is so cocky. Why she keeps saying Victor bought a company when Newman is his company. The way she's going, it won't be long. Ashley's playing games. I wouldn't apologize for anything about, I wouldn't apologize. Everything is about Diane. We're talking about Summer apologizing to Kyle. Summer, leave Kyle. Daniel is really a piece of work. He's telling everyone who will listen. Daniel want to clear his conscience, is going to get Phyllis locked up. Well, I'm not against Daniel. Daniel's trying to do the right thing. Phyllis is getting Summer to do the wrong thing and making Summer an accomplice in her crime. That's what she's doing. Okay. Daniel's not an accomplice in the crime. And then Monique says, Adam should have bought up Brass and Sassy to Victoria. Remember how she tanked the company and Victor had to bail her out and buy the company. I know Victoria, she's a hot mess and she thinks she's all that, but Adam is the one that will be able to one-up her. And I'm looking forward to it. And I hope they write it that way for a change. Let's let Victoria have to be sat down for a minute. And let's let her daddy have to step into the main chair to get the ship back on course for her blunders. So anyway, everybody, that's it for the daily recap of The Young and the Restless. I will be back tomorrow for Friday's episode. You know, Young and the Restless never has cliffhanger Fridays, but for Friday's episode.